Hey guys, this is Isa, and I'm narrating Game 2 between Lutra and Crystal. This is a Pokémon Perfect tour set. It's a best of 5, and Lutra won Game 1, so he's up. And we can see here... Oh, sorry. I misclicked. Pardon me, but you didn't miss anything. So we can see that Lutra is bringing the same Pokemon and probably the entirely same team as he did last game, whereas Crystal is using a different one, Alakazam lead versus Starmie. Starmie accepting Thunderwave, that's unusual and I really don't agree with it. I think that Starmie is one of the best Pokemon to have unparalyzed in the game. Taking Thunderwave and a Seismic Toss, only doing a Surf back. Seismic Toss connecting later on with Executor. I think that this is a good time for Crystal to throw Paralysis. He decides to go for Seismic Toss twice, which is okay. But the big thing about paralyzing in that situation would be that you would essentially cripple two very bulky mons permanently. After Sleep is finally thrown, Lapras comes in on Tauros. Tauros came in on Sleeping Alakazam. Tanks a critical hit, Body Slam, that's gonna sting a lot. And wow, Crystal getting lucky there with Paralyzing Thunderbolt. That's a 10% chance. Even if he decides to save his Lapras, he very well might do that. The incoming Thunderbolt or Body Slam can be soaked by a multitude of Pokemon, but he decides to go for Thunderbolt instead, which is completely fine. 24% paralyzed Lapras, not a big threat. The key here is to make sure that Lutra doesn't get to rest, but if this is the same team as previously, and we can be very assured that it is, then this Lapras does not carry rest. And given that right now the situation is 6-5, but I think it's safe to say that in a very short order Crystal will have equalized. Here it comes the Snorlax, and I think that saving... I don't agree with this switch. I think that saving Lapras isn't worthwhile. Okay, so Golem reveals a unusual substitute set, and the Snorlax reveals a similarly decently weird Surf set. I don't think that Surf is that great on Snorlax overall, but this might hint towards a potential Zapdos from Crystal side of the field. And I think that if it doesn't carry an electric Pokemon or, well, something that really appreciates having the rocks gone, I think that's a dumb decision. I think that carrying Surf is a step down compared to having Earthquake in general. However, it might also be somewhat specialized countering versus Lutra, because Lutra doesn't carry a Ghost. On the other hand, he does carry... he most likely carries counter on his Chansey, which might make it more appealing to use... what's the name? Earthquake. Anyway, not to get too far behind. Explosion blows up on Snorlax. Snorlax lives with 31%. Executor comes in, hits a Psychic on Alakazam. Alakazam wakes up on the Tauros, getting off a Psychic. I don't understand, why didn't you go for the Thunderwave there? Crippled Tauros is not happening through damage, it's happening through status. And looking at the speed advantage that Crystal would have if he would paralyze there, wow. Well, I think that good players can disagree. Let's agree to that. This is just another, well, it's not another blunder, but it is a blunder. Sending in Chansey hoping for a Hyper Beam. Well, to be honest, he was very far behind, but that's not gonna cut it. And I don't understand why he went for Earthquake instead for Hyper Beam there, but okay, maybe in anticipation of this Starmie. But it worked out for him. Um, and Crystal is very far behind, ahead. And wow, the 1% survival of that Snorlax, it has a guaranteed boom versus this paralyzed Starmie, and all Lutra can do now is to choose what takes the big incoming hit. And it's gonna be the Exeggutor attacking the Body Slam. Crystal making a nice prediction there. So it's 3-3, and this Snorlax is most likely going down. There's no real need to save it. But it did a good job. And yeah, Crystal agrees that Snorlax is not worth saving. It was a good prediction, but that's all. And Exeggutor comes in. If this is Mega Drain, Lutra is gonna have so much problem. 69%. That's gonna be. I don't know the percentages, but I think that's a 2-hit KO. The prediction isn't there, even if it was a Mega Drain Exeggutor, the prediction wasn't there. And the spec drop did not happen, but I don't think it matters too much. If Crystal keeps a chance in his back pocket now, we have a very similar position to the last game. Oh, Crystal just goes for the crit specs drop. And this Starmie isn't gonna do too much damage with its attacks now. Well, unless it gets critical hits. But the critical hit seems to be the name of the game for the Exeggutor. I think that with these crits, yeah, exactly. I think I was about to say that Chansey was very likely to come out that now, and Crystal might have had an advantage going for Sleep Powder immediately. And missing the Sleep Powder, getting paralyzed, that's unfortunate, but it's relatively minor in the grand scheme of things. I believe and hope that Crystal's last Pokemon is either Jolteon or Zapdos. So he should be in a very clean position regardless. Explosion connecting with Starmie, that's fine. The good thing about that explosion, even though it hit Starmie, it didn't give Chansey the time to heal up. So Chansey is at very low percent. It's at 45%. That's not a lot. And yeah, the Zapdos is revealed. Critical hit Blizzard. I don't think that matters. I mean, it obviously helps securing a faster kill on the Zapdos, but it doesn't matter for the outcome of the game unless Series Hacks happens. Thunderwave, correct choice. Allows him to outspeed the Tauros, getting in another attack, maybe for free due to potential paralysis, blah 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 blah. Thunderbolt doesn't kill, it couldn't kill, max percent is 49. Hyper Beam missing, doesn't really matter. Drill Peck, game should be won. Well, maybe a Thunder Wave first to secure it. Theoretically, Lutra still has a very minor chance of winning this game, but realistically speaking, I don't think that's gonna happen. At this point in time, it's just... Okay, wow, Crystal going Ultra Greed. Why did you do that? That was so dumb. Agility... Okay, I can see the point. The point was to let Tauros kill Zapdos so that his own Tauros can come in and finish the game with 90% chance, instead of having this scenario with Drill Peck relying on a critical hit to get the kill. But, you know, eventually that's going to happen as well. Thunderwave, I think, would be the best choice, and yeah, that's going to come. Drill Peck. Lutra can't afford to get fully paralyzed or being hit by a critical hit Drill Peck, and in the end that one of those things will happen, I think. Well, unless Zapdos is fully paralyzed. If I remember, yeah, okay. So, Hyper Beam is not a guaranteed kill. Hyper Beam does not kill this Chansey guaranteed. Crystal knows it. He goes for Earthquake. Counter misses. Well, it doesn't do anything because Earthquake was used. Crystal draws a big sigh of relief, and Lutra asks why not just Hyper Beam, and yeah, the low rolls would not KO, as the audience and Crystal point out. It wouldn't always KO, and that's securing the game with a body slam for Crystal. It's 1-1, as he notes. There's at least 2 more games coming up in this series. I hope you stay tuned for those. Until then, this is Isa signing out.